Hey y'all, it's Ira again. August 10th, Sunday. Another day in the van life. We actually woke up late again, or I did. I guess that's just my nature. I've always had that struggle. We were behind schedule a bit, so we went to Perkins for breakfast and figured we'd have a treat. And it was good. Their prices have really gone up, as have everywhere, but it's just kind of crazy. But they did have a couple cheaper options. I think Nikki got like a special burrito, and I got a magnificent 7, which was 2 eggs, 3 bacons, and 3 big old pancakes, which was probably more food than I needed. I didn't finish it all. But it was like $9.99, which was one of the lowest things they had on there. It was kind of interesting. They were kind of rushing us. Like the lady, like we were about 5 to 10 minutes into actually eating, and the lady had said she'd bring us a carafe of coffee and didn't, and she came with like this wireless payment device and was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave this here, here's your bill. And we're like, oh, do we need to pay now and leave? And she was like, well, no, but we're just trying to reduce table time. Which I'm assuming she meant the time that it takes a customer to get to the table and leave. So, and we had just barely started eating, and I googled it out of curiosity. You should take 20 to 30 minutes to actually eat. That doesn't include the time spent beforehand and, you know, deciding what you want to drink, deciding what you want to eat, and then maybe the time after. You know, what if we had wanted dessert, which I know it was breakfast, but, you know, it's just kind of odd. But I guess I'm not too shocked. We've noticed as we've traveled around, some places, the restaurants have signs saying that there's a 30-minute time limit to be in the restaurant. So the world is just continually speeding up. This is something I experienced in the business world, and it's just crazy. I don't know. It's like an ADHD world or something. People just can't. They have to constantly be doing something, and I'm the opposite of that. And it's disheartening a little bit. I love Perkins. I don't really go much anymore because there just wasn't one conveniently placed where I was at. But they were known for a place that you could be in, a place you could linger at. When I was young, they were 24 hours still, and you could go. We would go sometimes and study for a test, a final or something. We'd go in at night and just study all night through the morning, and then we'd walk in from Perkins over into the test. So those times have changed. The world is wanting everyone to continually move along. After that, went on a trail run over here at the east end of town at a place called Pilot Hill Recreation Area. I think it's really big. It's got a lot of different trails. I don't even know how. I think it's so large. It goes on for miles up into the mountains and stuff too. It's very beautiful, like high desert type, you know, climate. And there was this cool canyon that I discovered in there. I hadn't gone that far in before. I went down in there, and it was really neat. And I put some pictures and videos of it on Instagram and Facebook. It started thundering on the way back, which is kind of weird. It's so dry. It never rains here. So I hustled back a bit. And my oxygen was good after the run. So it seems that I'm adjusting, and I ran back faster than normally would have. And then a rain came in, a significant rain thunderstorm, and it was really cool, really cold and refreshing actually. And it's really dry here, and I hate humidity in the heat and the cold, but the dry, kind of has its own downside. But so it was kind of felt good to get all that moisture, and that's the first significant rain that we've seen here, and it actually ended up hailing later, pretty badly. Our car was taking a beating, and so, but nothing broke that we're aware of, and everything was okay. The vehicle is still doing good. Our van, Fiona, we call her, because she's green and sturdy and dependable and takes care of us. The oil level was still good this morning, so I expected that to have dropped, because it dropped before, like in a day, so I don't understand what's going on. But the car is running and riding better than ever. We have put a lot of new parts into this car over the past year, so a lot of this car is new, and it's doing well. These Honda Odysseys can go to 300,000 plus miles often. You see that online, see them for sale. So if you take care of them, apparently they're really good cars. So it's doing good at the moment. We'll just keep checking that oil. DoorDash, we did that. That went well. Nothing really noteworthy, but I have noticed that things are getting more hectic, as it seems like as we're getting closer to the semester start. There's more young people, more rowdy people, more out-of-state tags, and more rude people, more bad driving, aggressive driving. And we stopped door dashing a little early because we've decided we gotta stop eating out. We've been hitting McDonald's a lot, and so we decided we were gonna go to Walmart and just get some stuff that we would eat. I mean, we already do have stuff, but more stuff that would give us less excuses to go to the McDonald's. So I made a little reel of that on Instagram, and I think that copies over to Facebook too, but just showing some of the different cheap things. It's kind of shocking how cheaply you can eat, and non-perishable stuff, even, because we don't have refrigeration. Nikki makes some pretty amazing food with these things. It's somebody just walked up close, so I was looking. But butter, you don't have to refrigerate it. We had ghee, Ghee, in a jar, and then we're like, hey, we can just use regular butter, because it'll melt. It's in a box or a wrapper, but we just put it like in a Tupperware, and that adds a lot of flavor to things. And we have a lot of different spices, seasonings that also add a lot of flavor. And we'll buy flavor our seasoning packets. Like, we got a curry udon, I think, seasoning packets. We got some of those, just really delicious. We've had those before. And in the Hispanic aisle of the store, there's like these pasta noodles that it just looks kind of like a fine spaghetti, but it's all broken up, and it's like 50 cents, and it's good. So that's something we get. Hot sauce, of course, that adds a whole another dimension of flavor to things. Vinegar is the primary ingredient, and that acidity adds a wonderful flavor to things. And she makes some really delicious stuff. Canned chicken, Spam even. I got some more maple syrup and protein pancakes and mix. And we got some rice. It's like pre-cooked rice. Our parboiled or something like that, but I believe it's edible without heating it up any further. So we got a different kind of that came in these little trays, and like it's kind of already like a plate, like you could eat out of it. So I'm thinking maybe we could put some chicken and sauce in there, or seasoning or something, and have it for a quick lunch or something. I'm curious to see how that works. Sorry, I've got a lot of, maybe have some allergies or something. But oh, instant coffee. We've been living on instant coffee, or not strictly, but that's the coffee we've been drinking a lot of. I mean, yeah, we do get coffee out fairly often, but the instant coffee, it does the job. It's got caffeine in it. I even played with the idea of getting caffeine pills at one point, because let's be honest, that's kind of the point. But we get instant, and we got a different kind. We'll see how that tastes. We had the Nescafe before, which I like, but Nikki wanted to try something different. Paper plates, plastic utensils. What else? Can't think of anything else at the moment, but it's surprising what all you can make with just a few good ingredients. And we occasionally will buy fresh meat, like if it's on sale. We would go back in Liberty to Price Chopper, and they'd regularly have steaks for like $1 or $2. I can't remember what the cut was. It wasn't like like a ribeye or anything, but I mean, we would have steak for like $2 sometimes. You know, so it's pretty amazing how cheaply you can eat. So anyway, we got all that stuff. And throughout the day, I was making a guitar lesson. I've decided I want to try to put guitar lessons online at in 3 different levels: at a real beginner level, at kind of a more middle level, and then at maybe a more advanced level. At least to me, I'm not the best guitarist. Most internet guitarists that I see are really phenomenal, and I'm not trying to be them or claiming I'm them, but I think I do have something to offer that is somewhat unique because of the way I learned and the way that I came up in the music world. It was very improvisational and theory based. So I'm not saying it's the most complex theory or anything like that, but I think I have something unique to offer to people that can help people get into playing music quickly, which I think is what most people would like to do. So a lot of these excellent guitars, sometimes it almost feels like a barrier to entry is being created. It's like, well, if you want to be really good, you got to do all this and practice all this and know all this. And it's like, well, but people can also just kind of, just like anything, like when a baby learns to talk or walk or move around, you start with just some little things that can help you to participate and have fun in life. And that's kind of what I hope to try to teach, and I know I'm growing as I do it too, so I hope maybe I can get into more in-depth things, which I am learning myself. I'm a student. I watch a really great jazz guitarist's channel. His name is Jens Larson. He's Dutch, I think, or I'm sorry, he might be Danish, but he explains a lot of the complexities of the theory and behind jazz and all that stuff, or analyzing jazz more, really, is maybe how to put it. And it's really cool to go into that stuff with a deep dive. But and maybe I'll share some of that at a 4th level at some point. But I made the video today, and I was typing my blog and my vlog notes earlier after my run, and I didn't have a whole lot of time because I got up late, and so I just decided, I've been putting off this intermediate or level 2 lesson video. I'm just going to do it. And so, like, in between dashes, I'd just capture a little piece, and I'd draw some notes on a notebook, a spiral bound notebook, is my visual, and I just did it clips here and there, and even out of order. And sometimes, if it made more sense, I had to make sure I put them in the right order. I put the one it's on. I'm trying to put it on multiple platforms right now. It should be uploading to YouTube. And I was tired in some of it. At the end of the day, I noticed I was my speech wasn't as crisp and clear as it was in the first clips. So But there's always excuses to doing things. There's always excuses. Your brain will always come up with reasons why you shouldn't do something. And I think I've just decided in the past year or two, you just gotta, if you listen to those things, you'll never do it. There's so many things you'll never do. And you just gotta do your work. Do what you believe you're supposed to do, and do it to the best of your ability. It won't always be your best or your perfect best or whatever, but it'll be the best you have to offer in that moment, because you can just put things off. There's an author named Seth Godin, and I read a book, and in it he talked about, he would say real artists ship, and you got, I think I've said this before, but you ultimately, when I read it at first, I was like, this is ridiculous, you have to put out quality work. But it's like, now I agree with him wholeheartedly. You have to at some point just do it. It's the Nike thing. It's just do it. You'll never do there's so many things your mind will tell you to be afraid to do if you don't just do it. And that's what kind of we've adopted over the years. We started doing that with like backpacking, like, oh, we don't have the right gear, we don't have this gear, or camping in general. It's like, you know what, you can get like a cheap Walmart backpack and stuff things in it and tie a little tent to it and a sleeping bag with some paracord. And yeah, it's not all the best good gear, but you can make it work, because that just creates a barrier to entry that people can't afford it. Or I saw a guy even encouraging people to get an REI credit card to start their camping journey, and it's like going into consumer debt at high interest. It's like, wow, you don't have to do all that. And so that's a big thing, is like that guitar lesson I'm uploading right now. It's like, you just got to do stuff at some point. You got to just start pulling the trigger, and I'll get better as I go. And anyway, that's about all I have to share for tonight. But I've gone pretty long, so I'm going to just say good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.